Time is but the stream I go a-fishing in. David Thoreau. Ponder that and ponder this. This is Sports Chat alongside Corey Smith. I'm Jeff Cook. Sean Garrett standing by to take your calls. He might be seated, but he's not conceited. So, Corey, what's new with you? Brady has. Are we just going to get to our shining
We
stars?
can jump right into it. Yeah,
Jump into it. You
I'm
got something,
doing
I got
good.
something. I actually thought about it before we got mine live on the air. Go ahead.
So over the weekend, I get a text from Brady like, "Hey, got a walk-off home run." I said, "Congrats."
Little league homer or out of the yard?
Out of the park.
Wow.
So I said, that's interesting. He says, "Shining star?" Question mark. I said, "I think that is
All right, well,
shining star worthy."
Let's
So
get him on here.
this was the details. It says with a
Brady Dendenburn, right?
absolutely, it was a walk-off 3-run home run. It was 3-3 headed to the ninth.
Wow.
The opposing team.
Rushtown over, we don't know.
I didn't get those details, but the other team scored 2 runs in the top of the ninth. He said the ball hit the umpire, which allowed the runner to score from third to home, and then just ensued. But in the bottom of the ninth, Brady was up and hit a 3-run home run. So
Send a bomb into the night.
there we go.
Wow,
So
Brady Dendenburn, well-deserved shining star. You want me to give mine? Before
I have
we-
another one. So
Try to emphasize the positivity. Well, you can do the sandwich thing. I'm going to give you mine. First, it's Bermudian Springs baseball team. They're in the state final.
that was on my notes there. Yes.
Okay, and they're playing at Penn State's baseball stadium, I think on Friday.
Yep, Friday at 1.
And Branson Diller is their ace pitcher, and he's going to be able to pitch again in the state championship game. They won it all in 2011, maybe
2010.
2010, so 16 years ago, and now they're back a chance to do it all over again. Coach Carpenter and all the Eagles, we wish them the best of luck. Lane Hubbard, a familiar name, he's an old school kid. 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball, and I think he's their shortstop, leadoff hitter. So, I mean, they got a lot of heroes on that team, and give them their due. So who you got?
Well, they kind of, add on with Bermudian Springs there. They won 3-1 against Mifflinburg, back-to-back doubles in the 7th to give the Eagles the win. Talking about the ace picture, his stats for this year is 13-2 with an ERA of 6.1, 115 strikeouts.
.061 and 106 Ks.
115 Ks in 92 innings.
Okay, how many walks? They tell you that?
I did not see the walks there, but
Okay, well, that's more than one an inning.
but yeah, like you were saying, he is able to pitch on Friday, with the 3 days rest. So,
Okay,
good to see.
all right. So,
My other shining star, I'm going to go with the Major League Baseball route. I'm going to go with Trey Mancini. He is back in the majors.
great story.
Yesterday,
Colon
he-
cancer with 2021 or something. And go ahead.
So he got the call from the Angels AAA. He got called up to the majors. Nearly 3 years out of the league. Last time he was playing was for the Cubs in July of
Remember that.
31 or July 31st, and that was his last game. Last night he went 3 for 4 with an RBI. So that was, quite the story. The last couple seasons he played for the Reds, D-backs, and Marlins minor league system there. So just a shout out to
Yeah, that's
Mancini
tough.
there.
He's a major league player. He might have 10 years of service, and now he's back in the minors, but went through a lot medically, and great pick. Hottest scene in sports?
I'll let you kind of take the
All
mantle.
right, so I'm going to go with our 45th and 47th President of the United States, who attended the Knicks game and fell asleep in the third quarter. A lot of Knicks fans blame Donald J. Trump for messing with the karma of the Knicks. They'd won 13 in a row in the playoffs. He shows up. All the scoreboard watching parties are canceled. all the nearby bars closed. So they interviewed a lot of fans who were upset. I think he got booed. So, hey, Donald Trump, welcome to the hot seat, hottest seat in sports.
Is this the first time a president made the hot seat?
I think so. I think so. We'll call it a historic moment. Maybe it'll end up in the Smithsonian. Well, I don't think so.
Wow. All right. So it's going to be hard to top that hot seat. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds. They are on a 5-game losing streak, and now they're under 500. The first time that the NL Central saw a team under 500. All 5 of them were above 500 for over 50 days. So that
Wow.
streak has now went to the wayside. Since May 2nd, the Reds have lost 15 games in which they had a lead. The bullpen has the worst ERA in the month of May with 8.29. So before May 2nd, they had the best bullpen, and now it just crumbled all over the place.
How quickly things can change in an instant.
So
Yeah.
I was kind of grasping for straws a little bit for the hot seat, and then once I saw that, I'm like, well, that's
That's all right. You
a
can
good
always come
stamp
up
of
with
approval.
something.
Oh yeah, that's
Or you say, who we have there last week? Maybe they're still deserve to still be there.
that's true.
You never know. So, all right. So let's start with the NBA. The visiting team has won all 3 games. That's
Yep.
it. I mean, I don't know what you make of that, but you think the home teams would be ready to play. I mean, the Spurs, I think they led. Both games were down to the wire in San Antonio, and then last night in New York, the Knicks led by 7.5 or something like that.
Yes, they had a 7-point lead at halftime.
Wemby went off, and so, the guy's 22, 23 years old, totally composed. He says, "We're not worried," and we'll see how it goes. So Game 4 is not
Tomorrow.
tomorrow night. Okay, Game 4 tomorrow night in New York. We'll see who shows up dignitary-wise. Probably Spike Lee will be there, Ben Stiller.
The celebrity row.
Yeah. Taylor Swift, does she go to the Knicks games? I don't know. Anyway.
But,
all
I
right.
mean, looking at how that game was unfolding, it was just how the Spurs were able to get some, critical shots in.
Yeah.
You have Fox with the big 3 with under a minute left in the game, and then hitting those 3 throws that kind of iced the game away there. So,
Yeah, he's a steadying hand, a bit of a vet compared to their other young players. So,
it's going to be interesting to see how Game 4 is because all 3 of these games, the Spurs had a lead all throughout. Not all throughout there, but for the majority of the game. And then you have the
Knicks.
avalanche.
Brunson in the fourth quarter. Yeah, it's pretty cool series so far. We'll see. My pick, Spurs in 5, is obviously out of the question. You still are alive at Spurs in 6, but it would take
They got to win
a
out.
sweep. Yeah, a sweep. And Carl says Knicks in 7. I saw Carl the other day, by the way, while I was jogging. Some young lady said, "Oh, I saw you walking." I say, "I call it jogging. I'm a little sensitive about it."
I seen your jogging there. It's not a walk there. It's
Airborne for a
it's-
split second. Because I actually sometimes I get so deep in thought, I stop jogging and I start walking. I'm thinking, I'm walking now. Let's pick it up.
yeah, you got to get the point A to point B.
That's right.
But just seeing how they're letting the players play in this series, and sometimes it's a little.
How about that shot that Castle put on Brunson?
Yes.
I don't know. Was that just a common foul?
I think it was kind of teetering towards.
Well, what do they call?
They called it a Tech 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
I mean, it just happened to be the next best player who's undersized and took a shot.
And then the first quarter, you have Wemby going after Brunson as well, and kind of going with the headlock basically, but they didn't call anything on that, so they kind of looked the other way.
It looks like hockey sometimes.
Yeah, it's getting vicious.
Yeah. Isn't the Golden Knights play the Hurricanes
That's
tonight?
tonight there, yes. So
Four?
game 4, you got Vegas up 2-1. Vegas was up 4-0, in game 3, and they allowed 3 goals for the Hurricanes in 39 seconds, which that's almost impossible to
crazy,
happen.
yeah.
But
Like win the face-off in, win the face-off in, yeah.
rapid.
An average of 13 seconds for goal.
And then the game was tied 4-4, and then it went to double overtime. With
The Knights won.
the Knights won, so they're up 2-1. I can see that going 7 games. That's been a very high-scoring Stanley Cup there. So
Yeah, I was at the Y in the way back where they have the TVs and all the exercise equipment, and they had this ESPN, I think, did it. Some of the stories behind the Stanley Cup. It's pretty cool. It's probably been on the bottom of however many swimming pools, lakes. Maybe you have to get snorkels or scuba divers out there. I mean, what a trophy. As I understand it, every player who's been on a Stanley Cup winning team has his name etched on a small plaque, and they just go around and around. And when they need another layer, they just build another layer, and it goes up higher and higher. And
until that top tier, they keep on moving the tiers and tiers.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I never saw the Stanley Cup in person there, but just seeing the history of it, it's just remarkable.
there's really nothing comparable that players take with them, and I mean, the other stuff is worth thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't know how do you value the Stanley Cup? The medals alone probably aren't worth that much. It's not pure gold, I don't think. It'd be silly to have it be pure gold.
Yes,
It might get lost.
I look at it as priceless because there's
Exactly.
no price on.
And
It's
yeah,
just
the sentimental value, the uniqueness of it. So they probably don't have it insured.
I'm sure they do, but I'm not.
Not for how
Yeah.
much would you? Like you said, priceless.
Yeah.
So
You look at the Super Bowl Lombardi Trophy. There's they make multiple of them. Every year there's another trophy there. But
didn't Brady almost lose one down in Tampa Bay? They were going through the lagoons and
yeah, when they had the boats and he kinda
they were
shucked it,
passing it
yeah.
off. Did they lose it or did
he I think it was
Gronk?
I think it was Mike Evans that caught the either Evans or Gronk caught the
the trophy?
Lombardi. So
So there's some excitement involved with that too. The World Series, isn't that kind of looks like a bunch of spears sticking out of
you
something?
got all the pennant flags there. Yeah.
So that's not really, you can't drink out of it, I don't think.
I hope not. No, that's not drinkable.
Pierce your tongue while you're.
Yeah, you might have to go to the, get stitches or something like that there if you're doing.
Well, obviously, beverages have been consumed out of the Stanley Cup. That's all I'll say.
Multiple, thousands of times.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
gallons.
I guess this kind of leads us to our next topic, the ET. Since we're talking about the pennant, and
Okay, sure. Last week it was 39.
so it increased to 41.
Okay.
Just
Pretty
a little-
good- Pretty good, pretty quiet week.
Yeah, so I always try to find a note there for the ejection tracker, and this week the note is very small, but Terry Francona was ejected. So going back to the Reds, this was his first ejection. He was arguing a review called that the first baseman's foot was on the bag, but it was not. It was off by a hair. But with his ejection, was his 55th in his career, and he is now 20th all time with the manager ejection list there. So
There's a dubious distinction.
I know, yes. And Bobby Cox, that we said before,
Late
has
Bobby
number
Cox.
182
Billy
ejections.
Martin on that list?
Yep. Or Weaver's on that
Earl
list there.
Weaver's, what,
So
second?
second, I think I was looking at the list. Boone is 25th all time, with, all of his ejections there. So once I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's a good note there.
Yeah, it's a good note, but I don't think that leading in ejections is going to get you too far. We'll get
No.
you to the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. You have to establish other things to be.
Unless there's an ejection Hall of Fame, but I'm not aware of anything.
But looking at Tito's track record, I think he'll make the Hall of Fame. Not just because he has 55 ejections, just what he has done with the Boston Red Sox,
The Guardians,
a little bit of
Now
the
the-
Phillies
yeah.
there. But
yeah, the Phillies. I'll tell you, he was a manager. They had Scott Rowland T-shirt day. We were there, my family and I was part of the group. He didn't start Scott Rowland that day.
wow, that's
Bad managing, Tito.
come
Bad
on,
managing.
that's promotion.
Hey, is this a good time for me to do the banner sponsors?
Absolutely, yeah, we can
So you
segue.
queue up some, wherever we go next. I will follow. Adams County Community Foundation, Adams County Chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Trout Unlimited of Adams County, Classic Antique Innovations, Destination Gettysburg, Exchange Club of Hanover, and Gettysburg Railway. Thank you so much. Each of these entities is a banner sponsor for $80 a month or $880 a year. That's 12 months for the price of 11. You too could be a banner sponsor, have creative input for any and all of our programming, and really the sky's the limit of your involvement. You want to play an instrument, sing a song, we'll make it happen. But become a banner sponsor, and we thank you all so much.
Yes. Going back to the Phillies they're 6 games over 500, 36 and 30, 9 games back from the Braves. What's your feelings right now with the Phillies playing some good baseball under Donnie Baseball?
Yeah, definitely. Just to finish that banner sponsor thing, communitymedia.net/sponsorship. That's a way to contact us, or by phone, 717-334-3000. Well, this is a team made for playoff success. You have probably the top tandem of starters anywhere in baseball right now with Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler, a lefty and a righty. You have the Major League home run leader in Kyle Schwarber, who's now batting leadoff. Turner starting to come alive at the 2-hole, and Bryce Harper's been steady all year. I wouldn't be surprised if he can raise his average. Meanwhile, Brandon Marsh has been a revelation, leads all of Major League Baseball in hitting, and I think he might be an all-star, I think, for the first time ever this year. He's hitting left pitching, hitting .294 against lefties. Overall, he's, I think, .338 or something like that. Adolis Garcia, the right fielder, he's no Nick Castellanos defensively, and that's a good thing because Garcia is very good, has a great arm. He's played pretty well out there. Looks like he might finally be getting his power stroke. He had a 2-run homer last night. Bryson Stott changed his walk-off music. Now he's hitting a lot better. He and Bohm and maybe Turner, they all have about the same number of RBIs, and Marsh, they're all right in there around 30. So Crawford in center field, mixed reviews. Some people say trade him. I like what I see from Crawford, and he's got electric speed as far as getting on base in a 9-hole and stealing bags. So we'll see. Some of the rotations a little shaky. Luzardo can be shaky. Obviously, Nola can walk people and get burned with a home run ball. Andrew Painter, the rookie, they've shown a lot of patience with him, but he's now 1-7, and an ERA is, let's put it this way, very high. So the starters are good. Right now, the bullpen's playing great. So Don Mattingly, definitely, as we talked before we came on the air, definitely has thrust himself into the Manager of the Year conversation in the National League.
Yeah, I'll be right with you on that there. I mean, just seeing the style of how the Phillies have been playing. When you're saying about the 2 for the rotation, The only one that I will say it's probably right up there with the Phillies is probably the Dodgers with Otani and Yamamoto. With that core,
Yeah.
the Brewers,
Well,
with
let's talk about Otani. I know his ERA is minuscule, but in the playoffs, doesn't he pitch like they have a 6-man rotation maybe for the Dodgers?
Well,
Or he doesn't pitch every 5 days.
no, in the regular season, they have a 6. During the playoffs, they will have one of the guys in the bullpen, the starters. So they will. I mean, in the playoffs, you really only need like 4 starters. Just the way how games are set there.
Get more
So,
off days than
but looking at the style of play right now, at the ending of April, you would have thought like, hey, this team is well under 500, and they make that move, and now being 6 games above 500, they're right on the heels with the Cardinals.
yeah,
and
for
they have-
like a day they had the best wild card record. I was doing the comparative standings.
and seeing the other teams there, in that are above 500, because I always say the threshold, you want to be above 500 to be even in the talks of playoffs and all that there, and half the league is above 500. And then you flip it
Pirates
to,
are hanging in there as they usually do. Can they not fold like they usually do?
and also the young Nats, they're 34 and 33. They're 1 game back.
James Wood playing like an all-star.
I would say he should be a starter there. And then you got the Cubs that are, who are the Cubs?
What happened to them? They are the streakiest team.
This is a team that
Didn't they have
can,
a 12-game winning streak, something like that?
at home, and then they lost 8 at home. So it's just a very topsy-turvy
Yeah.
with the Cubs there. So,
They were going to run away with the division. Now it's the Brew Crew that looks like they're going to do that.
and then you got the
They're kind of like
Pirates.
the Rays too, where they're under the radar, and how they get so good? Because they're always so good. I don't know why.
Pirates are 34 and 32. So you have lots of teams are just kind of eyeing right up there.
Treading water.
So, and then kind of looking at the American League, you have,
Can the Yankees do it without Aaron Judge? For how long?
and then who knows how long, they're going to be out with their 2-time MVP or 3-time, 2-time reigning, MVP with Aaron Judge there. So it's going to be curious to see how some of these teams fare, and then kind of leaning towards the Tigers, probably the most disappointing team out there. With them and the Royals. Tigers are 27-39. They're going to get their ace back soon, but do you trade him? Because he's going to be a free agent after this year,
Should get something.
and if you wait too long,
You're going to sign him. I mean,
you're not going to get the investment. There's probably, I would say 8-9 teams out there that would, give up their farm to get, Schoolbowl for just even a season.
yeah.
See what happens there. So,
Let's digress for a moment because you're still in the American League. The Orioles are they? If they had to make a trade, or what would be their greatest need right now?
I think it would be pitching, but
It's always the case with the Orioles.
right now they're 31 and 36, and the closest that they got to 500 baseball was 2 games under 500. They'll win 3, then they'll lose 2. Right now they're on a 3-game losing streak, and it's just, the bullpen will cough up some runs, or the hitting. So
Who's their closer now?
right now they have Rico Garcia as their closer, journeyman. Ryan Helsley is going to be coming back probably at the end of the month, or maybe sooner, but it looks
About
like
Kimbrel, didn't you have Kimbrel for a while?
about 2 seasons ago.
Oh, that
he
was okay. But
he actually
Was
got
he on the Mets? Maybe he was on the Mets this year.
he actually got designated for assignment
Yeah, I
with the
saw
Mets.
that.
Was with the Rays for 2 games and got injured, so his career is kind
Banging
of
around.
winding down there.
Must have
So
pulled a Trey Mancini, maybe.
yeah, so looking at the Orioles, they're only 2 games back from the third wild card spot there, but they just haven't really kicked in gear, and have a
How's
long reach.
Rutschman doing this year?
He looks like an all-star catcher. Not saying
Henderson.
He has 14 home runs. He has a 235 average. There's some games that he's performing well. Alonso's,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's an all-star,
Polar
but
bear.
he's probably fourth on the first baseman's. That I would say will make the all-star game there, but they just.
Ahead or behind a Harper?
Well, Harper's in the National
Oh,
League.
yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
I would say he's probably behind, Kurtz and Ben Rice.
Kurtz was an A, and yeah.
And then you have Morikawa, from the White Sox there that will probably get in over Alonso. So Murakami, I should say.
Oh, yeah, he's hurt because he didn't play against the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
But they have Toronto, I guess it is, has a Japanese third baseman. He's plays great defense.
Yes, and then kind of put in the end with the Orioles. They play 6 games with Seattle. They played 1 game yesterday. Then they have the Padres and then the Dodgers. So they have a tough NL West, AL West opponents there. So their schedule doesn't get any easier. But when you're 5 games under 500, this is the time. We're at that point where there's less than 100 games left in the season, so it's not panic mode, but we're almost approaching that 81 games of halfway to the season there. So
Yeah. Well, and the Red Sox fans, they got to be disappointed.
yeah, they're 10 games under 500, and they're just you look at runs scored, they're only scoring 250. Yes, their pitching is doing well, but they're not scoring a lot of
Other than
runs.
Contreras, who scares you in that lineup? I guess that's the problem.
Not too much there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have a caller.
Oh, all right. Let's go to the phone line. Welcome to Sports Chat. Hello. Hey, Bobby. What's up? Okay. You got race results for us?
Yeah, I do.
In no particular order?
I don't know about that one yet.
All right. Williams Grove, what do you got?
Williams Grove, yeah.
Okay. Should I say?
How you been doing?
Good. I've been fighting some kind of respiratory thing, but I think I'm finally getting better. Lost my appetite, dropped about 10 pounds, and so hopefully now I should eat some more ice cream and drink whole milk. See if I can put some meat back on these bones. So how are you doing?
Doing well. I just got back.
Back from?
Ocean City, Maryland.
Upstate Maryland, I think you said.
Ocean City, Maryland?
Ocean City, Maryland, yep.
Well, were you out hanging out on the beach?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. How are the sights?
Good. It was bad.
It was bad?
Yeah.
Why? Was it bad weather?
Oh, you can say that.
Okay, I could say that. That doesn't mean it was true, but what do you say it was?
Too windy.
Too windy.
Okay.
Yeah, so not safe to go too far out there. Do they have lifeguards at Ocean City? I assume they do.
Yep.
All right, were you behaving? Did they have to blow the whistle at you or anything like that?
Yep.
What? What'd you do?
I'll tell you, let's go.
You were a troublemaker, huh?
Not always, yep.
Took on the sand pigs, eh? No, it's not a nice way to talk about lifeguards. They save your lives. So it was a line from Knots Johnson, Son of the Beach, an old-time show. It was a classic comedy, actually. So Robert, who finished first at Williams Grove?
Let's do it with Billy Walkerman first.
Wagaman,
Walkerman first.
second.
Oh, you very own team. Great.
Danny Double D.
Double donut.
Okay. Third,
Third is Lance Louise.
Lance DeWeese. Fourth,
KC.
KC.
KC. And fifth.
Yeah.
Fifth.
And then we're gonna call that Smitty.
Say who?
Huh?
Smitty.
Schmitty.
All right.
All right, Schmitty. All right, there you have it. All right, so you think your Astros are done? I guess the West is still, the Mariners looked like they were going to run away with it. Maybe now not so much. And I mean, that's a division, at least 2 or 3 teams could win it
Yeah, I mean,
before all said and
you know,
done.
looking at the Astros, they have basically the same record as the Orioles, 31-37. You know, they just can't get in a groove there. I think they're pitching until they get Hunter Brown back. That's been the outlier. You know, I know they threw a no-hitter about 2 weeks ago, but it's just that's what's been the kryptonite so far with the Astros is their pitching because
Framber Valdez, he was a big gun for them, and he's
with the Tigers. You look at the offense for the Astros with Yordan Alvarez, you know, almost being a MVP caliber player, you know, maybe, you know, with a triple crown there, you know, with how his numbers are showing, that could push them there, but I think they need a lot more pieces with pitching and the bullpen. You know, they got Josh Hader back from the IL, but I think for them to get the division, they are, you know, looking at 4.5 games back to Seattle. It's doable, but they still have to jump the A's, the Rangers, and the Mariners as well. So it's not dire shape there for the Astros, but there's other pieces that they could, you know, retool there.
So, Robert, maybe you should find another team like the Phillies. What do you think?
No.
No, you're loyal. You're loyal to your team, sink or swim.
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll call you loyal fan number 1. Could be redundant, but.
Well, I just want to thank you guys.
All right, well, we're good to hear from you. And you got any karaoke gigs coming up?
No,
How about trivia?
I do not know yet.
You know, I've toyed with an invention, Trivioki. It involves trivia and karaoke. Maybe you
Okay.
have to have.
You know,
I haven't worked out all the details yet, but just remember, you heard it here first. Trivioki.
yeah.
Trivioki, okay.
Yeah. All right, Robert. Thanks for calling
I'll
in.
talk to you guys next week then.
Very good. You're the man. We love you.
Right.
All right. Bye, son.
So yesterday we had our first game in Las Vegas. We had the Brewers and A's playing in the Athletics AAA home.
The first MLB game played ever in Las Vegas.
Correct there.
Interesting.
So the score was 15-14. The Brewers winning. 29 runs scored, along with 11 home runs. Each team scored 4 runs in the 10th inning. So,
Wow.
you know, it looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game. You know, they're going to be,
Thin air.
I guess how the capacity yesterday was 8,000, so it
8.
wasn't
What do they have in Sacramento when they play there? About the same, probably?
probably about the same or just maybe slightly more, but it's not, you know, a lot.
Not a major league park.
No.
And
And
what, they're projected to be ready in Vegas next year? Or
New 2028. So they're still all of this year and then all of next year, and then the hope is
Yeah.
the start of 2028 season.
project building
So,
a stadium like that. So.
and just the logistics and all that there. So it usually takes that time frame there. So it'll be something to see how this series goes, and then this weekend the Rockies will be playing the Athletics as well. So, you know, you got 2 teams that, you know, hit the ball, you know, with,
Yeah.
you know, or ballparks that are known for lots of scoring. So they kind of close it off with the baseball there. You know, seeing how the the NL West is with the Dodgers, you know, are they going to have the best record, you know, in the National League? Because you have the Braves 45-21,
Yeah.
Dodgers are 42-24. So you have that race that could go all the way throughout, and you can't discount the Brewers as well as 41-23.
I think the Dodgers have had a fair amount of adversity injury-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about the Brewers in that regard, but the Braves, they've been pretty fortunate. Acuna missed some time, but the rest of their big guns are hanging in there. Chris Sale, you never know when he's going to break down. All he does is stay healthy and win the Cy Young Award, which he did last year or 2 years ago, whatever. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's the beauty of baseball. You lose, you're usually back out there the next night. You don't have to dwell on it for a whole week, football or whatever. What about World Cup? We really didn't talk about that at all. Who's favored to win the World Cup? Is it
Let me see here.
Argentina or Spain or Brazil or
See the handy
Germany.
dandy.
and all these games? You read so much stuff online, but that they're not even sold out.
No. So the favorite to win the World Cup is Spain. Spain, France, England, Portugal, Brazil is your top five there.
Interesting.
I have no knowledge with or
Yeah, I couldn't, I know Pulisic is from Hershey. The U.S., they may be optimistic. They lost just recently 2-1 to Germany, I guess it was.
correct. That was in Soldier Field there. So
Where
looking
are the
at,
Bears going?
it, I
Segueing into football?
yeah. So it looks like they're
Indiana?
going to go to Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm, cautiously optimistic. I know that's getting very, very thin that they can stay in Illinois, but if they go to Hammond, I'm still, they're still Chicago Bears to me. You look at
I don't think they'll call them the Hammond Bears.
no, and then you look at how close they are to the line with Illinois to Indiana. It's very close. It's the politics and the government, with Illinois that is, they can't, they don't own the stadium. That's, the state, itself there. So they can't do anything with it. So it's a very tedious process that's been going on for years. And, they had Arlington Heights that looked like a foregone conclusion that they were going there. That's actually further from, them at Soldier Field to go to Arlington there. So, I think at the end of the day, I think they're going to go to Indiana and kind of go from there. So Indiana will have two football teams in their state then. So
Colts
and the Bears.
the Bears.
You look at others. The Jets and the Giants, New York, but they play in New Jersey. San Francisco 49ers, they don't play in San Fran, they play in Santa Clara. So you have all these intertwining, all throughout there.
You have in hockey all the teams that play in Jersey, the same kind of thing as some of the teams. But anyway, so we covered baseball pretty thoroughly. The All-Star break is in about 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
Actually,
In
about
July,
a month. Yeah,
away.
it's right after the July 4th weekend. Basically, it's that 11th, 12th, 13th. I think it is there. So.
Mizorowski was kind of controversial when they threw him on the All-Star team last year.
Mm-hmm.
If he makes it this year, he'll have earned it. So I guess I'll eat crow if that happens.
Well, this year it's more or less who's starting. I think it's an easy nod. Who's going to be starting the NL? I think it's going to be Sanchez, just because with it being in Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes it a little bit easier for the bump there.
And they usually only go 1 inning anyway.
I think it's more of
They
a
used to go 3.
the
but
novelty for starting. I think because no one really
It's an honor,
remember
yeah.
who's the second pitcher, the third pitcher in line. It's
Yeah.
who's the two pitchers starting. So.
Right. How about the American League? Who gets the nod? Sometimes it comes down to how much rest they have, and
Yeah,
but then, like if it falls on their off day when they would normally throw a little bit anyway. So
I think it's either between, there's a couple pictures probably, but I think maybe Cam Schuttler with
Yankees?
the Yankees, or DeGrom, with the Rangers. He's having a good season there.
that's always a question with him. Can he stay healthy?
So I think it's going to be probably Cam for the Yankees, but it's just going to be, how they line up on their
Yeah.
starts and all that there.
What about tennis? Anything? I guess some of the big guns were out of
French
the
Open.
field. Was French Open they just played, and so a guy I don't think had ever won before. He won this year.
Yeah, I saw that on the bottom ticker there. I didn't really
Yeah.
see too much of the
And
event
golf,
there.
I mean, they had the Masters already, they had the PGA.
U.S. Open.
When's that coming up?
That'll be Father's Day weekend, so
Okay.
not this weekend, but next weekend they will have
Yeah,
that,
Father's Day weekend.
and that'll be in New York. So
Nice ring to it.
one other thing that we didn't mention yet, that was college football. Texas judge granted
Yeah.
Brandon Sorsby the
Maybe he should be on
eligibility.
the hot seat.
I just don't understand this. This is
He bet on his own team, or to win, lose, or draw. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
bet on your own team. It's foolish that now everything's married to gambling. It's crazy.
So the NCAA made him ineligible after discovery of him wagering 9,000.
Yeah, now they
90,000.
say he's addicted and he has all these psychosocial problems.
I look at it, it's opened up Pandora's box, and I think we're going to have a problem in college football and just
What if
college.
nobody wants to play Texas Tech?
Yeah, there's already, the Big 12 is already set.
Yeah, how
there.
many seasons has he played already in college football?
Well, he was a red shirt at, in Indiana when he was,
Yeah,
placed
and
in
how
his
old
beds.
is he now?
He's
26?
actually only 22.
Oh, okay.
So he's not that.
Well, I know that's
older.
another thing the NCAA is wrestling with. How old can you be and still be a college player?
And then the other, joke of this is Sworsby is going to be suspended for 2 games, and he's playing,
Abilene Christian,
in Oregon State. I mean, you're not.
part of the Pac-12.
Yes, I mean the first one with ACU, that's more of a money game, and they're still going to win whether he was playing or not.
Yeah.
So you look at this, other players, you look at, hey, if I bet on my team, I'm still going to be playing. In any other sport, you're banned.
Well, the judge's reasoning was he is losing his livelihood. Well, he should have thought about that before he bet on his own team.
Correct. Yeah.
And the judges impose all these special conditions. He's got to go for counseling. And is the judge a Texas Tech fan?
I think he had ties with Texas or something else there, but I just feel like it's very impartial, and with this being so outlandish, I was surprised when I saw this. I thought it was incorrect when I saw the graphic there, but I thought he was going to be ineligible. I thought he was going to go to the supplemental draft, and go to the NFL route.
See if he can make money in the NFL.
Yeah, so now that he's going to be playing basically the whole season, not the first 2 games of the season, I think it's a joke.
Can they appeal that to the higher court?
Well,
Probably.
I think I saw like a court hearing like February, which
Yeah.
that's a moot point because
After the season.
season, then he's already looking to go into the pros. So
Maybe
it's
he'll
just
get
a
hurt.
mess.
That's a terrible thing to say, but
Maybe he'll just play lousy.
It is really hard to figure out. It's really hard to be supportive of college athletics. Then they have all the mega donors who. So I mean, you hear teams. Oh yeah, they have $23 million to work with this season, or something where even the third string tackle's getting
Something.
20, 30 grand a year. I mean, crazy. Well, listen, we're out of time. Great show on your part. Any final thoughts?
Well, I'm going to try the repeat with trivia.
Your crown is on the line. And trivia coming up in 15 minutes. Special thanks to Sean Garrett, pushing all the right buttons as usual. And for Corey Smith, I'm Jeff Cook. See you next Tuesday and every Tuesday here on Sports Chat. Good night, everybody. Mahalo.
Vibrant hearts, we still long for me. 'Cause you're still my love, 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 love. What is our love, 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 love? Have I your love, 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 love? When our vows were new and our love was sweet, we trusted in God, we prayed that wisdom and faith would guide the way. But the clouds drew in and hardship sprung up like thorns, choking out the joy.